welcome everybody to the Black Friday stream. This should be fun. I have a docket full of various AI techniques, prompting, GPT building, perplexity usage, tool usage. We're gonna hit this from various angles, but the common theme is going to be, well, we're going to be using AI tools relating to Black Friday. And we're going to be talking about tips and tricks as how to find deals, evaluate deals. But I think the overarching theme really is going to be how to use LLMs to enhance your thinking, or maybe to add to help to aid you in your critical thinking when it comes to decision making. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. So I'm looking forward to a stream where we look at various techniques. But also, I want to say this: I was looking forward to today because I plan to make it a bit more freeform, a bit more. I want to go down, certain rabbit holes or things that like interest me and interest us, and that we find common interest here in between the chat and what I'll be doing. And sure, we have about, I think, 30 to 60 minutes of prepared content, so to say. Like, I have several prompts and several workflows that I want to show you, but then we're gonna take it easy. We're gonna see where this takes us. I'm gonna show you a few cool things we made. I'm gonna show you some behind the scenes automations that we maybe have in place. I'm gonna be answering questions. We're gonna be talking all things Black Friday. Ideally, I would love for this to turn into a bit of a forum of like, hey, it is the national shopping holiday. We're all into a similar thing, generative AI and technology, and probably many people are into gaming and software, and it's, this type of content attracts a certain type of person, and this is a great place to hang out for the next hour or two. So, with that being said, let me kick this off with a question, ladies and gentlemen. Let me kick this off with a question. For anybody who's been here, you might know that we like to kick things off by asking where you're from. Today, my question is a bit different. Today, my question is the following. I would like to hear from you. What are you shopping for on the internet today and over this, shopping mania titled weekend? Or alternatively, what kind of deals have you found that you would recommend? This is a question that actually came up in our community, and I would just love to ask it here publicly too. What are you looking at? What are you buying? And what are you looking at purchasing? Let me kick this off myself. Maybe I can briefly share my screen here. But I'm looking at some kite surfing equipment, and I know that that's a bit that's not exactly related to the topic of this channel, but it's related to the topic of today's stream. Concretely, I am looking at some wave and surfing related kite surfing equipment. So like a board with which you can hit waves, and a kite that is designed to ride in the waves. So instead of like paddling out, you just take the kite, you use the wind to get out, and then you ride the waves back in. And and if the conditions are right for this, it's a fantastic thing to follow. So concretely, I'm looking at what is this thing called? The North. They have a deal on it. I actually, so the cookies on the other laptop of mine, but it was I'm looking at this surfboard, the North Charge, exactly. So this is not a normal surfboard. You kind of need a kite to go along with this, but they have a great deal on this. I mean, look at it, almost 50% off. But just wanted to share that this is what I personally am looking at, looking to ride some waves out here in Portugal. After all of this AI research. So there you go. That's what I'm looking at. What are you guys looking at? I would love to hear from you. And again, this is going to be sort of a Black Friday theme stream. We have some people looking at headphones, Christmas decorations for moms, for your mom, Kosti. Okay, laptops. Yeah, there's a lot of laptop deals. The Samsung S24 Ultra. All right. What else do we have here? Gift card for the Mini. Not even a gift card for the Mini. A Mac Mini this morning. No discount, but waited until Black Friday just in case. Yeah, Apple doesn't really do discounts on new products especially. Yeah. So that's interesting. So let me kick this off with a very, very practical tip. Okay, this is not really AI related. We're still in the intro part of this. Okay, I'll make sure to timestamp this for anybody watching the recording. So hey, if you want to cut straight to the chase, cut straight to the prompts I prepared for that, cut straight to the assistant building that we'll do afterwards, cut straight to some of the Perplexity usage that we'll use to browse the internet. You can do that. For anybody being here, I like to take things a little slower than in videos because, you know, in videos, everything is just like fast-paced. We just uploaded a new use you can use. That thing is well-researched, tested, recorded, edited, reviewed by multiple people. It's a lot of work goes into those to make them as concise as possible. This live stream is an opportunity to kind of make things a bit more human. So I'm going to be doing exactly that. Starting off with me just sharing a little extension that I've been using and that I want to recommend. Not sponsored, not partnered. I always disclose that. You guys know that. But basically, this little extension allows you to look at price histories on Amazon. You might be familiar with this, just like you might be familiar with some of the workflows or techniques that I'll show off today. That won't stop me from sharing it anyway, because this extension is amazing. So if you use Amazon, and I believe this works in all stores worldwide, so I'm going to go to the German one because I believe it's larger or whatever, it doesn't really matter. And then you have all the different Black Friday deals, right? And let me tell you, I think, I know that I'm sort of a Amazon, how to put this? You could say addict. You could also say power user, whatever you want to say. But like across all my 20s, basically when I was doing video production and I was helping various clients and companies create visuals, I basically ordered packages every single week, like throughout all of my 20s with different accessories or objects and stuff, like technology related mostly. Point being, I've used Amazon a whole lot. And let me tell you, on Black Friday, they do this thing where they they mark up the prices in an incorrect way, and then they put big numbers on the discounts. But the reality of it is you might be getting a 5% discount or not even discount at all, but they show a 50, 60, 70% discount. So, you know, a laptop might cost $1,000. And they'll say it costs $2,000 and now you're getting it for $950. And they're saying, hey, 55% off. In reality, it's just 5% off. So it's good to be aware of this because these big numbers really do affect our psychology in a big way. And there's this one extension that I love to use. I have it on my laptop, so I quickly need to just log in on this device right here. But basically, it allows you to see the price history of Amazon. So this would be my first tip, and it does relate to the AI stuff that we're about to talk about in a second. But hey, if you're doing anything on Amazon this week or this weekend, I strongly recommend this because you're going to see that a lot of times you feel like you're making a buying decision that you need to make now or never again are you going to have a price this good. But in reality, for the past 6 months, the product cost 5% more and you're getting a 5% discount, and that's making you buy now, which is fine. There should just be transparency in communicating that. So just quickly going to show this to you in practice, and then we're going to also use it in some of the workflows later here. But I want to start with this because this is very universal. I believe pretty much everybody here will get value from it as long as Amazon is present in your country. Cool. So extension has been activated also on this device. This stuff I usually do with my laptop. So this is my desktop that I use for video production. And now you can do the following. If you check out an air fryer, which is probably a good idea because the air fryer might just change your life. I know it did mine. I'm not even kidding. But actually, I now cook multiple times a week. Oh, I air fry multiple times a week. Anyway, the point is you get this graph here, right? And this graph is pretty amazing because you can see that the current price is 154 euros, right? That's what you see right here. But if you just go back to early September, it was 175, right? So you're getting a 20 euro discount, which is what, 10%, right? So that's not a big discount. And on this, they don't even claim a big discount. But on some of these other products, I don't think it's very hard to find ones where some of the discounts they claim here are not even close to what they actually are. So let's look at this coffee machine priced at 250. Originally, supposedly, it was 400, right? So let's have a look if that lines up. It's 250. Yeah, and if you look at in early September, the thing was 250, right? And since then, it cost 299, right? So now they reactivated the 50 euro discount, but they're just claiming that it's way more expensive than it actually is. So this is a good thing to be aware of because in reality, you're getting a 15% discount here. and it's making you feel like you have to, you know, buy it now. Otherwise, this discount is going to run out forever. And if you want this coffee machine, maybe in 2 weeks or 2 months, you're going to be paying almost double the price. So I think that's a neat little trick that you guys should know. And then beyond that, I wanna go straight into maybe the second most practical thing that I have here on the docket. Then we're gonna get into some of the prompting and stuff. But I want to show you the use of Perplexity and GigaBrain also. I really like GigaBrain because GigaBrain is a fantastic free alternative where everybody can just do this for free. Again, none of this is sponsored, affiliated, nothing like that. I always very clearly disclose that. And in many cases, we do partner with companies that I'm personally a big fan of. But also there, I pointed out, all of this is just me streaming and showing you stuff that I find useful. So Perplexity and GigaBrain. Okay, let's have a look. So I'm going to open up just new chats and just quickly check the chat here because it's on fire right now. A lot of people sharing what they're shopping for. So yeah, just keep sharing what you're shopping for. I would love to. Or are there some software deals that we should be aware of? Some AI tools. I know some people pointed out that X Premium is on sale now, the yearly. I'm definitely, that's on my list today. I just need to use a VPN because I somehow can't activate it from where I am. AirPods Pro for 199 euros. That's really good. Oh my God, AirPods. I couldn't recommend AirPods Pro more. Literally, I had the big over-ear headphones. The Sony ones, I used them for years. I swore by them. They were a staple in my everyday work routine. Ever since I have AirPod Pros, they're catching dust. The big Sonys, the noise canceling ones, because the noise cancellation on the AirPods Pros is so good. And if you go to a coffee shop, you can easily put them on your keychain. If you travel, they fit in your jacket pocket, whatever. They're so tiny, whereas the headphones, they take up space. In your backpack with the case, they take up a lot of space. Yeah. I don't know. That's just, and this is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be talking tech a bit more widely than just AI. Sure, the focus is AI, but you know, it's Friday night. I'm here to hang out, here to have a good time, and I'm glad that you're joining me on the journey. Sarah and Alexander, welcome, man. Hope you're doing fine too. So yeah, are you going to ride those massive waves near Nazaré? Not yet, my man, but they're just 1.5 hours north of me right now. And we have, so Nazaré are, I don't know, they start at like 6-7 meter waves on Nazaré Free. It's like the smaller beach. Up until now, the biggest I've ridden is like 3 meters. And that's, man, let me tell you, 3 meter wave, like, I suppose I know this is predominantly English audience. So I'm 6'3", which is 1 meter 89, 1 meter 90. So I don't know, 3 meter waves are 50% more than 6'3", I suppose. There you go. I used the prompt provided by Igor to create a list of items matched to my wife's interests and preferences. Now my Christmas shopping is done. Gordon, wow, wow, I share so many prompts. Could you give me some details? Like which prompt was that exactly? Let's try that out on stream. That's amazing. Also, Carol pointing out Perplexity here that we'll be using here every second, I promise, is 70% off the Pro. That's pretty good, but they have a lot of competition, right? So if you have ChatGPT Pro and with what I'll show you with GigaBrain, you know, might not even need it. I'm not sure. Like, it's good. Don't get me wrong, I use Perplexity regularly, but maybe with some of these alternatives that are free, you might not necessarily need it. Best deal on Black Friday is for this community. Aaron, thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, people have been really excited in the community, and a lot of people locked in the year. Yeah, if you're not aware, I'll point this out today a few times. You know, our community is offering a yearly deal. So if you subscribe for a year, you get a 40% off price versus the monthly plan, which I think is amazing. And towards the end of the stream, I'm going to show you some things from within the community. Like Aaron right here also shared a prompt that he wrote that explores your psychological shadow. It's a Carl Jung themed prompt. It's very interesting, and things like that get shared in the community on a day-to-day. Plus, we run around 15 to 20 events a month. Plus, we produce around 10 guides and resources every single month. Bring guests in, so much more. We can talk about more of that, but the community has become, yeah, my favorite thing that we're doing very quickly, easily. Gerhard bought a PS Plus subscription. Consensus offers a full year. Okay. What is the name of the extension? The name of the extension is Keepa. And on the free tier, it does what I just showed you here. So you don't need the paid version, you just need the free version in Chrome. I think it's also in all other browsers. Keepa.com. Chelsea Parker is looking at free Lenovo laptops. So guys, ladies and gents, keep sharing what you're looking at today and what kind of deals you find. We're going to use this chat as a hive mind to, get the best deals across the internet. And with that, let's have a practical look at what we can use this for. So I showed you that in my case, I'm looking at this board, and then also so we're going to use these as examples, right? And then I'm also looking at the North, I believe it's called the Carve. Yeah, so this is a kite that is specifically designed to ride waves with, right? So I'm looking at either this or this size. Basically, this thing is not designed for jumping. It's not designed for freestyle. It's just designed to sit there when you ride the wave, so it's not in your wave. So it's not in your way. So you can really enjoy the wave, and then once you're done, you can pull it back up and you can ride back out in combination with these boards. So these are the two things that I'm looking at for this Black Friday. And one obvious question that presents itself is is there better deals for this, or do I even need this? And I have a few prompts and a few techniques that will help you in kind of evaluating your decision. And then we'll also build an assistant to do that. So first things first, I want to show you a little Perplexity prompt that I very commonly use here. I kind of just formalized it and wrote it down here. Right here. Okay, so it's this prompt, okay? I'll share it with chat right now. I'll put it also into the video's description for anybody watching the recording, but it's basically this. Can you identify free or open source alternatives to the product? Please provide a detailed comparison based on features, user reviews, and compatibility. Now look, obviously this one is geared towards software products and knowledge products and not towards buying a surfboard, right? Nevertheless, we can still see what happens if we run it on this, but I found this to be extremely useful because these LLMs are aware of everything on the internet, and Perplexity pulls in what's available through Google and stuff, right? So it's really good at looking at free and open source alternatives. So maybe here on this prompt, let's not use the surfboard as an example, but let's do something like a prompt engineering course, or maybe a prompt engineering course. How about that? We bundled it into our community. It's one of many things that you get if you join. But hey, if you're just interested in that course, maybe you might want to go in here and you can do something like this, right? Can you identify free or open source alternatives to the product prompt engineering course by the AI Advantage? And maybe I can give a bit more context. Teaching ChatGPT communication and tooling by the AI Advantage. Please provide a detailed comparison between based on features, user reviews, and compatibility. And now there's two ways to run it, okay? One way to run it is just like this, just by default, and we can do that. The second way to run it is with a social focus, where it particularly looks at different social media channels, mostly Reddit. Now, if you only want that, right? I believe this is a pro feature. Also here I have the pro version installed. I would recommend GigaBrain. Like this on the free plan, it looks at Reddit. The whole thing is optimized for Reddit. And what that's really best for is finding reviews and finding human opinions on something. So, if I just go in here and paste the same thing and run it, you will see that, generally speaking, this stuff is very, this stuff can be very useful. Right? It's not a 100% thing. Like in this, I ran this before, this prompt, and here this actually gives you the incorrect results, right? This finds different tools that can run LLMs for you. This is not exactly what we asked for. I believe Perplexity gets this right. Yeah, there you go. So you have different ones, right? So here's a YouTube course. Here's one that's on Coursera. Here's one on deeplearning.ai. Here's one by DataCamp. And here's one, I guess, in text. And all of it comes with references, right? So if I wanted to check out this one, I could just click that and I would find... Yeah, so look, there's a 10-day free trial. This is free. I could go in here and try this. Like I've never seen this course before. I'm not endorsing it or anything. I'm just saying this is a way to find alternatives, right? So there's one alternative. How about I believe the DataCamp. I haven't taken it, but I've came across it. I learned the basics of Python back in the day from a data camp, and that worked quite well. So I was happy with that. And so I guess, yeah. So they have a free 1 hour, 11 video prompt engineering course that I uncovered through a simple Perplexity search here. I think this is pretty amazing, honestly, especially when it comes to digital or knowledge-based products. You can find a lot of resources this way. And I believe this to be a better way than doing the same search inside of Google, because let's just see what we get if we look for this in Google. We're gonna find best ChatGPT alternatives. Prompt engineering courses are a scam. All right. What is the best learning platform? Maybe we can look at this later and we can kind of look at this, because I think a lot of people have a point here. I want to see what it it's just English grammar. Change my mind. Well, I would say it's a separate language. It's one that is similar to English, but I think communication with ChatGPT works a bit differently than communications with humans. And there's certain capabilities that are not intuitively obvious. And you can take a course to reveal those to you, and that might be good. Plus, there's a lot of tools that people don't have knowledge of. Last argument I would make is probably that learning to think like a programmer without programming can be extremely beneficial when prompting ChatGPT. But okay, fair enough. Good meme. So you can see the Google results here are rather useless. Wouldn't you agree? Like, this is not really what you're looking for, whereas and then also GigaBrain here with the free alternatives, this prompt didn't really work. So this is really a Perplexity prompt. And that's what I would recommend. So you can just, yeah, use this prompt that I shared in chat inside of Perplexity. What is a non-old people's mouse? Carol, if you're looking for a mouse, I can recommend the one that I have 4 copies of. It's this one, Logitech MX Master 3S. I love it for its ability to side scroll, and it's very comfortable on my hand. And it has like 3 extra buttons that you can map if you want to. I have this set to go back. Can you see this? Oh yeah. This one to go forward, and the side scroll wheel allows it to go back and forth. So I don't know. I just have multiple copies of this. Yeah, I used to have an office where a few of us sat, like me and the video editors and one more person, but we dissolved it. So like now I have 4 mouses, 4 mice. Anyway, I would recommend this one personally. I've been super happy with this. Would rebuy it at any point in time. Why do I have 4 copies of the mouse? Yeah, because it was also I use one to travel, one for my desktop setup. Yeah, but I think one of them I gave to one. Yeah, so anyway, just trying to say that I really like this mouse. Okay, so that's a great prompt right there, I think, right? Like, honestly, you can find free alternatives. So that's one prompt that I would recommend, okay, inside of Perplexity. Here's another one that will work really well inside of both Perplexity and GigaBrain. So it's simple. Reviews for, and then let's just take this physical product, okay? The North Carve 2023 Kite. I'm gonna run this inside of Perplexity, 1. No, it's just Kite. And then here, what really helps for reviews, what I really like to do is, I guess we can compare it, but what I really like to do is go to social, and then it will only look through social platforms, mostly Reddit here. But as I said, GigaBrain has been like purpose built for exactly just Reddit. So if you do this on GigaBrain, in my experience, this works even better. Okay. Steve Mew saying he has the same mouse, excellent product. Yeah, it's nice to lock in certain pieces of tech or certain, like just like on YouTube, you know, it's nice to consume certain information from certain channels on a consistent basis. It's like a routine. You can relax a certain part of your brain when you have a routine like that. Same with the mouse. Like, I don't want to, you know, it works. So why challenge that? Okay, so let's see what it came up with for product reviews. Only about AI and ML. Hey man, welcome. So basically, Perplexity result. Let's have a brief look over this, okay? I'll subjectively evaluate this as somebody who's really into kiteboarding and is just getting into kite surfing, which is the same thing, but not trying to go as high as possible, but trying to ride waves. So there you go. So this is a summary of the various sources it found and various comment section. Now, you will quickly find that this is not the most in-depth analysis you will find, but it's a summary of what, 5 sources in total? Whereas the GigaBrain analysis is usually more concise, but I also find it to be more practical. I don't know, that's just subjectively. I can only express it subjectively, but for reviews, I do default to GigaBrain. So let's have a look. Performance in waves, writing strapless freestyle. Here are some key points. Highly regarded for its capability in wave writing. Good drift stability, making it solid choice. Performance in waves. In other disciplines. Okay, doesn't say much. Here it compares it to some other models. I like that. I wish it did more of that. Some people prefer this over the main competition. Okay, I'm aware of that. And then you have some reviews of personal experience. And you can always just hover and you can see the comments that this comes from, because this also looks at the comment section. And then also it highlights one best answer. Carve is wave and strapless freestyle. It's better for directionals with or without waves. If you have a carve, directionals are basically boards that only go in one direction like this. If you have a carve 12, just buy a carve 9, that's it. Okay, there you go. And then you have some follow-up prompts, whereas this is a bit more extensive. Just like, this is more similar to ChatGPT search in the length, I would say. Perplexity goes a bit more in depth every time. Okay, so in this case, actually the perplexity answer is great, I gotta say. It's nice that it defines some of these things. Yeah. User experience, easy to read. Yeah, so this gives way more details. But here's the thing, this is a paid product and this is a free product, right? So I think this would suffice in many cases, and you would have a few threads that you could now read through right away. Oops, maybe not like this. Like so. There you go. You could read through them like so. So this is my second tip that I would give you today. I guess third tip. The first one was really using this extension. It's fantastic on Amazon. You can check the actual price history of this thing. For example, I'm just curious with the mouse. Let's have a look. Yeah, very consistent. It was 10 euros off for a while, but that's it. Second one is using Perplexity to identify free or open source alternatives to something. This is particularly valuable with info products or software. And the third one is checking out reviews with AI search engines. Maybe just for the comparison's sake, how about we do the same thing with ChatGPT search? The trifecta. Let's do this. ChatGPT search. See how it performs. I hope this message finds you well. Oh, well, thank you. Okay. Okay, so it looks like it got most of this from 2 sources. And you see, this is the thing, like, I would rather have all the Reddit opinions than some kitesurfing magazines. Yeah, because these are often just product launch announcements, right? As opposed to human opinions. So here we would need to prompt it. Let's see. I've actually haven't used ChatGPT search for product reviews yet. So let's see how this goes. So let's just add that. Yeah. So this doesn't work too well. So this is GigaBrain. It's just your free go-to here. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm comparing paid Perplexity to free GigaBrain. Yeah, true. But we're looking at the best version of these things that could be done. So I guess we could run the same thing through free Perplexity. Yeah, you're right. So we could just do this, and then we could put the focus on social and just run it, and then compare these. It's probably also going to be a shorter output. Yeah, there you go. So this is very similar to GigaBrain. And here, I would actually prefer GigaBrain. Yeah, yeah, good point, man. X1011, yeah. So if you just want a free search engine for reviews and opinions, I would always go with GigaBrain, in my opinion. If you have Perplexity Pro, you can kind of use this for everything, all kinds of search. But then, and again, like ChatGPT is a bit behind on this, but on many other categories, it's exactly on par with Perplexity. So there you go. So those are two little tips, okay? AI search engines for product reviews. This is really one of the big things they're used for, the big things I hear people telling me about that they're really great for. I would love to. Okay, so Gordon right here commented that he found a prompt that helped him explore various. Wait, let me pull this up here. Let me pull this up here. I can highlight comments so all of us can see this. Let's do this. Here I have all the comments. Okay, so Gordon first commented this. I used the prompt provided by Igor to create a list of items that matched my wife's interest and preferences. Now my Christmas shopping is done. So then I asked Gordon, which prompt was that exactly? Because I share so many. And let's have a look. He shared it down here. It's this one. I need help finding the perfect gift for my wife. She's interested in elegant but comfortable apparel, art for the home, and books based on biographies of famous people. So excellent. So let's give this a shot. Let me just copy paste this into ChatGPT. Let's try this out. So there you go. This is your next prompt recommendation here. Next way to use AI to enhance your Black Friday experience. How about this? What if, okay, so in my case, I don't have a wife, right? So I'm going to just say son, and I'm just going to do this for myself. So let's see what I would like. What ChatGPT thinks I would like. First of all, let's just do, he is interested in, okay, I like the first part actually. Art for the home. Let's do kitesurfing equipment. And books based on, actually also like biographies. Let's change kitesurfing equipment because it's not going to have a lot of knowledge of that. Let's change this to software. But I'm also very aware of all the software that I need. Let's maybe do this for, let's just say I have the same interest as your wife because I kind of do. Let's just do these two. All right. Okay. Yeah, Igor's son is interested in kitesurfing. I mean, I suppose. So there you go. Let me have a look. Okay, wait. Do I have some custom instructions in here? Oh yeah, I do. It is supposed to write personal narrative-driven emails. This is something from the latest news you can use that I showed off. It's using Claude to define your style, and then using that in custom instructions. Nice little workaround. They built a really great tool to outline your style with an Anthropic. You can use that. Anyway, we can talk about that in the end, but I have to rerun this. My bad. Always have some custom instructions in there. Igor has a secret son. Maybe. It wouldn't be secret if I told you, huh? I understand you're on the hunt for the perfect gift for your son, combining his love for elegant yet comfortable apparel. Okay, here we go. Here's a few recommendations. Biographies of fame. Oh, I actually read this one. Oh, Alexander Hamilton. This one I would enjoy for sure. This is good. This is good. Okay, interesting prompt. Thanks for sharing back to me, I suppose. So I guess I shared it with you and now you shared it with me. Isn't that just wonderful? That's how this whole thing works. Let's see. So I need help finding. Let's try the same thing with Perplexity Pro and let's just do all of the web. Let's see how this goes. All right, so let's see how this differs. Ooh, high quality and cashmere sweater. Tailored joggers in a premium fabric. Those are great suggestions, actually. Like, okay, they're not linking to products. So the interesting thing here is this. If you're in the US, this would link you to Perplexity Shopping and it will give you some concrete products with buy now buttons. This is an interesting development in the AI space recently. Perplexity is the first one to make this move, like direct shopping integration. And I think it's only going to become bigger, like ads and any direct integration inside of LLMs. Yeah, as the attention on them increases, like, you know, we're in year 2 of 100 millions of people using these products actively. It's going to take some time, but eventually they're going to sell ad space here. That's for sure. Anyway. Okay, then we have different biographies. Let's see. Be ready when the luck happens. A memoir. This one could be interesting. Gastronomy is such hardworking people. So much respect for them. And I know what it takes to work in that industry. So reading a biography like this might be fascinating. Huh. Hollywood aristocracy. These are good recommendation. And again, Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson. Yeah, I read this. This is a great one. Also, he just overall has fantastic biographies. Can recommend. Okay, good. I really like these. I think these recommendations might even be better than the ChatGPT ones. So yeah, there you go. This prompt, again, I'll copy this into the description, might be even better inside of Perplexity than it is inside of ChatGPT. And then gift set ideas, a cashmere sweater along with the king, a life for a blend of comfort and inspiring reading. That's cute. I like it. Tailored joggers paired with the Friday afternoon club for a touch of Hollywood glamour and relaxed style. Thoughtful. Okay. Yeah, well, there you go. So this is a good... What happens if I throw this into GigaBrain, looking at all the Reddit opinions? I suppose this is turning into a... Oh no, I ran out because of... Oh, I can say skip for now. Okay, let's do that. Let's skip for now. I've ran out because I used it so much this week. Oh, it still works. Okay, I just need to toggle Pro off. Ooh, this is a fantastic tip here from chat. Wow. I mean, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. It's Azbuka, right? But that's how we call it in Slovakia. But yeah, so this is a great tip. So you can always extend these searches with I live in Portugal, for example. So let's try that. That's great because then it contextualizes it to your country. But then I suppose this would also contextualize the biographies to Portugal in this case. So I would be wary of that, but that's a good tip. Okay, excellent. Next, and we'll get to some ChatGPT prompts I have here, and then we'll build a little custom assistant that can aid us in these decisions or that we could easily share with a loved one that might be struggling with shopping addiction, I suppose. Or maybe might be a little too trigger happy when it comes to using the credit card, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so let's see. How did this work with Portugal? Ah, yeah, so it used Portuguese brands, right? And it gives you... Little People, Big Dreams series. For children, but... okay, so here it takes the son part and it takes it quite literally as in, hey, it's probably a child and also like child apparel. Okay, yeah, so, you know, be careful with the prompting. Whatever you include there, it's taken quite literally. And what about the GigaBrain? So we'll round the segment out on this. Let's see what GigaBrain tells us. So not many references in this one. So I suppose this is a pretty raw ChatGPT output here. Am I wrong? Yeah, these are essentially, you know, very similar to the ChatGPT output. And no references in here. It pulls up some threads from the books subreddit. That's good. Yeah, so I suppose for this use case, Perplexity does win. Overall, just Perplexity takes it home a lot of the time, you know. It currently really does, especially the Pro version. It works well. I really like this ability to switch from just social search to web search. And yeah, it can see into more sites. So there was a comment here pointing out that ChatGPT can probably not look inside of Reddit, but then Perplexity can. Interesting. All right, so that is this segment. That is that prompt. I hope that was helpful. So just to review, so far we had a look at how to use an extension to look at Amazon price history. We looked at how to prompt for free alternatives to software or educational products. There's a plethora of them on the internet. Google is not a good way to search for them. AI search really is. That's the second one. The third one was looking at reviews through AI search engines. My recommendation there is GigaBrain. Has its purpose built to look at Reddit, and it's also free. Yeah. Number 4 was a prompt here from chat where we looked at, well, actually it was apparently from me, used by somebody in chat and then rediscovered by me. That's just beautiful. This one is about creating a shopping list. This one can be super useful for Christmas. This is a problem people commonly have. One thing I'll add on here, this is just an idea that sparked inside of my mind and I want to share, is that you can extend this prompt or modify this prompt with a few keywords that I like to use here and there. So the perfect gift for my son. So instead of perfect, you can say unexpected would be one keyword. Another one would be non-obvious. So let's have a look. So here you're going to get some unexpected recommendations. You can present yourself with a gift that resonates with your taste and interest, offering both style and substance. And another one would be non-obvious, as I said. Like that really works well because you have to think of these LLMs as, oh, my bad. They looked at all of the internet, right? All the blog posts, all the reviews, a lot of YouTube transcripts, maybe even all of the YouTube transcripts, all the publicly available data on the internet and more, right? Whatever they fed into it during the training. And there's certain patterns within that, right? There's a lot of bias, there's a lot of opinion in there, right? Because like everything on the internet is basically human opinion, even Wikipedia articles, right? A lot of times it's pretty curated and moderated, but it's still, a lot of it is still opinionated. So you have a lot of opinion and a lot of personal preference inside of the training data. Therefore, the results reflect this. This is no secret. This is nothing new, right? But you can prompt around this, right? So that's why I really like keywords like non-obvious, because then it looks at, okay, what is the consensus opinion among my training data? And then ignore it, right? Because like the obvious stuff is the stuff it finds first, and then it puts it aside and it looks a bit deeper. And I find this to work super well. Male care here pointing out another keyword saying surprising. There you go. Same thing. So, you know, if something is not exactly obvious or expected, as in the bulk of the data suggests this, then it would be surprising, right? So you can also use that one. Okay. So there you go. What do we have for non-obvious recommendations? Let's see. Is this search enabled? I'm not sure right here. I don't think it is. This is just plain old GPT-4o, right? Oh yeah, just plain old GPT-4o. Yeah. But these work super well, and this is not just with shopping, right? Like generally speaking, this is a super nifty trick using some of these keywords, surprising, non-obvious, unexpected, to essentially find things that hide inside of the niches, or things that might be a bit buried inside of the training data, because it's still aware of it, right? But like if you ask it to write in a general style or to give you general information, it will give you the thing that it has seen the most often, because it's just a probability machine, right? Like all the token predictions are based on probability. So what it has seen most often, it will reflect most often. And sure, that's a generalization, but it's a good way to conceptualize it. Yeah. So there you go. All of a sudden, it's, recommending the Crusades of Cesar Chavez. This is not something that it would have recommended before. Or also Sonny Boy by Al Pacino. Like, all of these books are a bit more niche, a bit more unexpected, a bit more surprising, and therefore might also be more useful to you. As, the obvious stuff you can pretty easily find or come up with yourself. The non-obvious, not so much. Does the context even consider more things than the first output? Does the context consider more than the first output? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that, Niklas. Maybe you can specify that. Anyway, meanwhile, I'll move on to the next point here, because we have a few things prepared. So I have a few prompts here also prepared. Okay, so the next one is going to be this. The next one is going to be, yeah. So I have two general purpose prompts. Okay, so let's just get right into it. For ChatGPT, I would just love to get a refill on my water. So what I'm gonna do is just play a song and get myself some water. I'll be back in 20 seconds, okay? All right, that was quick. Yeah, man's got a drink. So, two more prompts. And then we're gonna build a little assistant that combines all of this, okay? So, let's fade out the music here. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So the two prompts I wanna share with you is, one of them is very knowledge-based. This is sort of the thing that might be very obvious to most of you, but I think it's always valuable to point out specific prompts when related to something, because there's just so much variety amongst the audience. So this one is just one that is supposed to up your education on Black Friday strategies, okay? And this is going to become more relevant as we build our little assistant, but look at this prompt. Let me just share my screen over here. It's this one. Challenge common myths about Black Friday deals, use psychological research to debunk misconceptions, and provide consumers with a clearer understanding of what truly constitutes a good deal. So, with something like this, you can up your education, you can learn something about what ChatGPT knows on consumer psychology and marketing, and it will debunk some of it. So here's, one myth, and, you can take this as a template for various other prompts. I think this is a nice little template right here, or you can use it to literally learn about Black Friday. So let's just briefly review this. This will become more relevant later on when we build our assistant. We will include this as a part of its instructions. But there you go. So the myth is Black Friday offers the best deals of the year. While it does offer significant discounts, research shows that it's not always the best time for every product. Retailers often use anchoring, cognitive bias, when consumers rely heavily on the first price of information they see, aka, this price. This is how much it cost. To make discounts appear more attractive. For example, they might inflate the original price to create the illusion of a deep discount. Exactly. So Amazon does this a lot. That's why I showed you this little extension that shows you the actual price history, so you can ground yourself in the real price. And you can realize that in reality, you feel all of this fear of missing out for a 5% discount. And in reality, take your extra month to decide if you actually need this thing. And there you go. Here with this robot, look at that. 259 now. No, wait, 89. Okay, so look, it used to cost 99 and now it costs 89. It's a 10% discount. And they advertise it as a... The heck? This is it doesn't show the percentage here, but as a 65% discount, that it's a 10% discount. Okay, so this is the first learning, right? So we talked about this already. The earlier you shop, the better the deals. Retailers often stagger deals throughout Black Friday weekend and Cyber Monday, sometimes reserving the best prices for later in the event. This strategy leverages the scarcity principle when consumers feel pressured to act quickly for fear of missing out. However, not all early deals are necessarily the lowest prices. Be patient and avoid impulse buying early on. Many websites leak deal previews or host price matching policies, allowing you to wait for the best price. Yep, so can confirm. And maybe let me just relate this back to the AI advantage for a second, because I always love to keep things transparent here, and we're running some deals of our own. So maybe let me just briefly address this, like what we're doing in relation to this, just to keep it transparent. And then later on, we'll use this to build a little assistant that you can use yourself. You'll learn how to build something like that yourself if you haven't seen it before. We'll include some keyboard shortcuts inside of the little GPT that we'll build. It's going to be quite cool. But yeah, let me just, as we go through this, because I feel like it related to what we offer. So the best deals of the year. So for us, it's definitely the best deal of the year. Like we don't do many discounts. We do have some discounts on community membership, on longer term membership, but never throughout the year. Like basically we're almost at the price that we had on launch. That was the only discount we had, and we're not planning on any other discounts moving forward. So, you know, this is for us, this holds true. It is the best discount of the year. The earlier you shop, the better the deals. So here's the thing, Sunday night, I want to end kind of the discounts that we have with the caveats that we're looking to gain 50 members over the course of this month. And if we hit those 50 members, I don't think I will be extending, because then we're at sort of like capacity with the team we have. So if we hit those 50 members, I think it's 25 more. If we hit that by Sunday night, then we won't be extending into Cyber Monday, the community offer. And if we don't hit it, we will extend into Cyber Monday. So I would just say that. So, you know, many retailers might do this on their own accord. This is my strategy behind it. Happy to reveal it to you. Let's look at the next one. All products on sales are high quality. Okay, I don't even want to talk about that. That's BS, obviously. The bigger the discount, the better the deal. We also talked about this, you know, looked at the realistic prices with the extension, or with something like, I'm not sure what this is in the English space, but in Germany, I always used something called Geizhals. And you can like pull up products, and it gives you price history over the past year. So you can see that this processor legitimately now costs 200, and a few months ago cost 280. So something like this. Do you guys have something like this for the US? I'm sure you do. I'm just not aware of it. This is what I use in Germany. And then you can also look at all the different sites that offer this product, right? So you can see that Amazon is actually not the cheapest here. That's usually the case. Some of these like smaller German shops offer it cheaper. So if somebody has something like this for the US, please share it in chat. We'd love to see it. This one is a good one. Black Friday is the best time to shop for everything. While some categories like electronics tend to have great discounts on Black Friday, others don't. For example, winter clothing often sees steeper discounts in January or February, and home goods like mattresses are heavily discounted during Labor Day sales. Interesting. So this is where a tool like this helps, right? It shows you the entire year and what the real deal is. Like I would be curious on this like little robot vacuum. I have a similar one. How is this? Oh, yeah, look, this is a big discount now, right? At 470, it used to cost 620. It used to cost 700. Good discount. So it's always good to use these tools. Shopping in stores guarantees the best deals. I think this is not true at all. Yeah, online is just the way these days, right? So there you go. I'm not going to go into every single one of these. I don't want to bore you with everything here, but we will use this prompt as a part of our little assistant that we'll build in a second here. But before we do that, I have one more prompt that I want to share with you. And that is the smart shopping guide over here. All right, create a comprehensive smart shopping guide for Black Friday outlining tips on budget management, ethical choices, and maximizing value without compromising on quality. And here, this teaches you. These are tips and tricks on how to budget, how to navigate this. It's just different types of prompts for different types of people, right? So whatever resonates with you, feel free to use that. Also, this one I'll share in chat. It's nothing sophisticated. This is pretty simple stuff, but I'm just saying like it's good to open your eyes to like things that are possible. I think the one with the common myths is a good template for other use cases too. Vicky saying my deals is a site they use. Gerhard knows Geizhals, of course. Okay. Okay, so this is another one, you know, we'll just give you general tips and stuff. Now, look, maximize savings, sustainable choices, protect yourself. Sure, quality over quantity, I would agree. and plan beyond. Post-holiday sales. And here's a little checklist. All right, so set a budget, determine total spend, and allocate by category. That's good advice. Research, compare prices. This is what we looked at with Perplexity and stuff. Find deals, use coupons, cashback apps, shop early or late. We talked about that too. Sustainable, high quality products. Okay, there you go. So there's some tips for you. So now these are two, general purpose prompts that can be useful to certain individuals who might not have knowledge on this domain. Now, how do we go further with this, and how do we combine all of this into something that might be useful to somebody who, oops, I just misclicked there, to somebody who either might not be using AI, or maybe for yourself, if you know that you're going to be repeating a buying decision for, I don't know, the next 48 hours, and you want an AI assistant to guide you through it, a second opinion. Well, in this case, this is where you can build a little GPT to assist you. And at this point, I just want to, before we get into that and before we build that, I just want to spend a minute here and talk about when this is good. Because obviously, we've done a lot of GPT building on this channel and in the community. There's an entire 8 or 9 hour course just based on that. And at this point, I have over a year of experience of actually using the concrete, interface of GPTs that is very limited inside of ChatGPT. And I want to just talk about when I find that this seems to make the most sense. It's in scenarios where you need a second opinion, or where a second opinion could be useful. And I hate to say this, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like, team humanity for sure. But in some cases, having the neutral opinion of an AI might just be even more useful than having the opinion of a person. It really depends, right? But if you ask certain emotionally loaded questions, if you ask a family member, you will get a subjective opinion. You will get an opinion where they're trying to either, well, this depends on the dynamic, I guess, but it will not be fully objective, right? It will be tinted by whatever relationship you guys have. And the AI is always going to give you the information straight up. And you know that there's no bias except of, what's baked into it. But that is pretty predictable bias. Whereas with people, it's often tinted by emotions. And I would say that especially when it comes to something like either your mental health or a buying decision. A buying decision is a great example of something where you would want the objective analysis, the objective view of this, rather than somebody's, because if you ask a friend or family member, hey, should I buy this car? Immediately, most of the time, their default response is going to be based on all of their experiences that relates to purchasing decisions of a car. It's going to relate to their desires of owning a car. Oh my God, of course you should buy that car. Wow, what a beautiful car. And in the back of their mind, they're not even conscious of it, but they're like, oh, I always wanted a car like that. Maybe if he gets it, he can drive me around, or like at least someone in the family will have a car like that, right? That's a tinted view of things. If you ask the AI, it will just tell you. And if you build the AI correctly, it will give you a SWOT analysis of it. It will use budgeting tips. It will use the entire checklist that the AI can come up with itself to aid you in your decision. I'm not saying always do this, but I'm saying with purchasing decisions, this is a great way to create a little bit of distance between you and the decision, between you and the product, and give yourself space to think rationally about this rather than just emotionally. A lot of Black Friday is driven by emotions. A lot of it is driven by fear of missing out, scarcity. Ooh, you need to get this now, otherwise the deal will run out. Building a little AI assistant that you can talk to, can help with that, can create the space. So this also goes for all sorts of like mental health problems, or if you're learning something. But at this point, I kind of just want to go in and start building this thing. But here's this was my explanation on why this would be useful and why I do this for certain problems, certain issues you might have in life. Building a little assistant like this makes you reconsider it. It's like going for a walk, but the AI edition. Okay, so let's have a look at this and build a little GPT. So what we'll be doing is we'll be using my custom GPT builder. Very simple, made this freely available. You basically go to this thing. I'll share a link in the description. and you just say, let's build a GPT. And then it will ask you, hey, what will this GPT be doing? So let's have a look. I shared a few prompts with you, and based on these prompts, we can now go ahead and we can design what the GPT should be doing. So let's look at the first prompt here. Let's look at the smart shopping guide. I feel like there's elements to this that could help us. Actually, this is a fantastic input prompt to build a GPT around. I'm just gonna give it this straight up, right? And it's gonna figure out what to do. But first it asks me some clarifying questions. I could, as I always outline, so, I'm going through the process again. We've covered this on the channel multiple times. If you've seen some of my live speeches, I like to go through this process. I find it quite helpful. Well, let's just go through it again. So you could type auto for it to answer all of these clarifying questions, or you could customize this to your needs. So I could say, 1, would you like the chatbot to act as a personal shopping advisor, a financial planner, or both? Should you focus on any particular product categories? So I wanted to actually be a financial planner, as that is the thing. I don't need a personal shopping advisor, but a financial planner. How about that? I haven't tried this before yet, so let's just do this. Any particular product categories? Nope. And number 2, we're gonna turn this into, should it be conversational, structured in tips and lists, or a mix of both? Mix of both, but concise. I always like it concise. Time is money, people. 3, creativity level. Would you prefer a practical, straightforward tone or a fun and engaging style to make the experience more enjoyable? Give me straightforward. This is my financial advisor, not my clown. Number 4, are there any specific considerations or constraints like recommending sustainable brands or excluding certain types of deals? I'll just say no constraints. Should the chatbot also suggest tools or provide links to relevant resources? Yes. Good. So I can hit enter, and now this will proceed with generating an assistant with all of this. So there you go. First we have a communication, and this is the way this operates. It always, that's how the instructions are set up. It always sets up a communication sequence at the beginning. This is how the assistant, chatbot, GPT, whatever you want to call it, interacts with the user. And then the instructions are all the details. A lot of this by default is just enforcing a certain behavior that is already present inside of ChatGPT. It just highlights it. So, stuff like browser tool integration just makes it use the browser tool a little more often than if you don't include this. But other things like offer practical examples, like how to split a $500 budget across different categories or compare deals on similar products to choose the best option. These are extra things that it comes up with that could be useful for the assistant. We're going to be extending and customizing this in a second here. But for now, the default works very well. And this is what we need to create the GPT if we want down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new instance of ChatGPT. I'm going to put this into... don't have the extension here. Okay. So I'm just going to do this manually. And I'm going to just be building a new GPT here, okay? So very simple. Go over here, explore GPTs. I'm going to say create. And then inside of here, first things first, we're going to copy over the instructions. Again, I've taught this on the channel before. We have a whole course on this in the community. But there you go. We have this. The title of it is going to be the Black Friday Wizard. We have a little description pre-generated here. Why not? We even have an image. So, I'm just going to upload this image. And there you go. And then conversation starter, I always like to just say, let's start, because it has a communication sequence. So we don't need preset prompts. So this is the basic thing, okay? And I'm just going to hit create here. And now we can merge this back. And this thing is ready to go, okay? So this would already help us, but we're going to be customizing it with some of the techniques that I showed you in the first 45 minutes of the stream. So I'm going to go view GPT. And I'm just going to say, let's start. And now I'm going to use it on the practical example that I brought up in the beginning of me wanting to buy this kite, right? And as it has internet usage enabled and also it's enforced in the instructions, I can do something like give it the product page and it should be able to pull it up. But I am considering the purchase of this new wave riding kite. I'm just gonna give it the link, okay? And then it's gonna look at the site, it's gonna pull in the context, it's gonna look at this. So, and now you can just have a conversation with this thing, okay? And this is so this is why I'm saying this is the technological equivalent of taking a walk and creating some space between you and the buying decisions, because all of a sudden you have to answer questions. All of a sudden you have to engage in a conversation about it, which activates a completely different part of your brain rather than just going in and being like, do I want this? Yes or no? Like, this will trigger a whole different part of your brain. You're going to think about the experiences you could have with it. You're not going to be thinking about budgeting. You're not going to be thinking about a SWOT analysis that you could perform on this. You're not going to be thinking about any of this. But right here, if you're engaging with this material here, we can think about it differently. So it tells me to share my budget, and then it doesn't know much about alternatives. It researched some alternatives here with the use of the browsing. So yeah, this is one of the main alternatives. Yeah, also the course section 4. This, I think section 5 just came out. So it's great that it found this. And there you go. It does the research for you inside of ChatGPT. Isn't this great? It just automatically used the browsing tool to pull up all of this, pulled it together, and now you have something that can help you in your buying decision. Tell me about a relative that is going to give you free alternative kites that you could be buying with the approximate prices and the review highlights. They're going to tell you, hey, go for it. If you want it, you should get it, right? I find this more productive. So this is useful already, I would argue, right? But here's the wonderful thing. We built this ourselves. This is not the Black Friday wizard of the GPT store, if that even exists. This is not a preset chatbot. This is not something that a company provides to us. This is our personal assistant that we built for ourselves for a problem that we have. And we have some skills here, which we can apply to customize the thing. That's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to open up the instructions of this, and now we're going to extend it with one of the other prompts that we looked at here earlier. Remember, I showed you the one where it creates a shopping guide, right? This is what we based the assistant, the GPT, on. But there's another one. Challenge common myths about Black Friday. So I'm going to just take this prompt, and now I have two options, okay? And I want this really to sink in, because one option would be including other prompts. We can talk about how I acquired these prompts, by the way. This is a separate thing. This is inside of the advanced prompt engineering course, inside of the course in the community also. But like essentially, I use the prompt generator to come up with a bunch of prompts. This was two of them. But I have this prompt, right? And I tried it, and it's quite useful, I think. I think looking at these different myths and debunking them is something that is useful, especially in a little assistant like this, in a little chatbot like this. So I'm going to copy this, and now here are the two options that I have. One option that I have is I could post it in here, and I could just either give it a title or not. I could be like debunk myths. And now this would be a part of the instructions. And you will see that in the behavior of this assistant, especially when we give it certain arguments, and if we take the conversation in a specific direction, it will actually use this technique. Whereas by default, it won't, because it's not in the instructions, and it's not, like by default, ChatGPT is not set up to debug myths by default. You need to prompt for that. So we could put it into here. But then, to be honest, like, do I really want an assistant that just by default goes in and tries to debunk myths? Like, a lot of times, I wanted to research the net. I wanted to pull up the prices. I wanted to evaluate my budget. But I don't really want it to, like, go in and start debunking myths out of nowhere without me asking it, right? Like, maybe that's what you want. Maybe it works. Maybe you try it out and it's like, hey, this is actually exactly what I wanted. But in my case, let's assume that we don't want that and that I only want that as a conscious choice. Now, what you can do here is paste this block. I'll also share this. This is from the GPT building learning path in the community. This is towards the end of it, but I'll happily share it in here. Basically, Basically, this is a building block. I have to share it in 2 messages, but there you go. It's in chat. And you can copy this and you can use this at the end of your GPT to map certain hotkeys, which will be accessible throughout the entire conversation. So if you're interacting with your personal shopping AI assistant, the Black Friday wizard, if you're interacting with the Black Friday wizard at any point in time, you can click 1 for it to search the internet and expand the context. And at any point in time, you can click 2 for it to export everything that it found as a Word document, or I could change this to a PDF, whatever you want. And it's extendable, right? So I could go in here and I could add the 4th point. So what I'm gonna do in this case, I'm gonna use this debunk myths. I'm gonna use it as a custom prompt. So I'm gonna change title and then put the custom prompt in here. And then also, I'm just going to duplicate this. And I'm going to add a 4th custom prompt. How about this? We looked at something, we looked at other prompts here before. Oh yeah, the free alternatives. This is my favorite one. So free alternatives, right? We looked at this prompt right at the beginning of the stream. Can you identify free or open source alternatives to the product? I can remove the variable here because the context is implicit in a conversation. Please provide a detailed comparison based on features, user reviews, and compatibility. Then I'm just going to change the title. So, and now what we did is like we have our default assistant that works well and is set up to make ethical choices and it prioritizes your spending limits, essential purchases. Like what I could do in here is maybe for this Black Friday, I have a budget of, I don't know, maybe let's say we have $2,000. My budget is $2,000. This is a smart thing you could include in your personal shopping assistant. We're not making this for the world. We're making this for ourselves. We're making this to help us with our purchasing decisions. So you can customize it, right? You can tell it this. What is something else we could customize before we start using it? I'm gonna just adjust this budget example here to what it actually is, let's say. And then maybe I can do a thing here. This is just a spontaneous idea, but I'm gonna try this. I'm actually gonna say shopping list. Here is the exact shopping list for my Black Friday weekend. Wave, riding, kite, surf, wave, riding, kite, board, and AI Advantage community membership, obviously. And then other useful electronics. Okay. So now I gave it my shopping list too, right? So now it's aware of my budget. It's aware of my shopping list. It's aware it's set up to assist me in my shopping decisions and to create some space between me thinking about this emotionally and actually evaluating this rationally. And I gave it some prompts that I find quite useful. One of them is debunking myths around something, and the other one is looking for free alternatives for a specific thing that I might be looking for. Nice. And with these customizations, let's call it a day for now. I'm just going to go ahead and say update. And my Black Friday wizard has been customized. And now we can view the GPT and we can run something very similar to what we just did. So let's just copy the same prompt from the last chat here to keep it identical. I'm considering the purchase of this new wave riding kite. And I'm going to open up my Black Friday wizard here. I'm going to say, let's start. And let's get into this. Can this be used for product comparison? Absolutely, 100%. You can give it multiple links. So I'm just going to run the same prompt and let's see what we get here. All right, so we get a similar thing here, right? But now it points out our $2,000 budget, right? 1. What else is different here? Okay, so this looks pretty similar, except of its awareness of the budget. But what we don't see is the fact that all of these prompts are present under the hood, right? And now, as you might have already noticed, there's a shortcut. So if I just want to see what this assistant can do for me at any point in time, I just hit 0, enter. Thanks, Carl. Hope you have a great day. And happy Black Friday weekend. So, and now it will show me, okay, this is my hotkey menu. You could either search the internet, export as Word documents. So what happens if I just hit 1? Hey, just nothing else, right? It will find additional information on the latest deals based on the context of the conversation. So we talked about a wave riding kite. I did not prepare this. I did not test this. It's an LLM. It's going to do something random. Let's see what happens if I just hit 1 and send it off. Okay. It found an article from the Kite Mag, from Mac Kiteboarding, and the North product page. Okay, this, and this. Okay. And it pulled all of that together for additional product information here for me. So just by hitting 1, no copy pasting of a prompt, no custom instructions, nothing. It just searches the internet for extra context. Not bad. But what happens if I hit 4? So are there some free or open source alternatives to this product with a detailed comparison? So let's see. I just hit 4. And it just does that. It applies the prompt. Now look, this is the concrete example of using this to, build the Black Friday wizard. But you could build this, like one of the really useful ways to use this is a social media repurposing bot. You could set up all your favorite repurposing prompts inside of the keyboard shortcuts and have the default settings set up with your style, with your tone of voice, with your preferences. You could even put templates into the knowledge base and have it reference them with the exact title of the template. And then if you give 5 examples of a social media post in the knowledge base, you can use that template to repurpose whatever you put into the chat. I hope that made sense. So essentially you can build a bot with a knowledge base, with custom instructions, with keyboard shortcuts, where you just open it up, you give it a social media post, and then with the help of keyboard shortcuts, it repurposes it for various platforms based on what it has in a knowledge base. Super, super efficient workflow. All you have to do is open up the damn thing and hit the button 2. Done. You have a post. So much more efficient than having to copy paste multiple prompts based on what you're doing. It's all there. You can set this up for your team, for your assistant, whoever might be doing the work. Okay, so yeah, look at that. Free alternatives. So it's a premium wave kite. There are some budget-friendly ones or free alternatives. Free kites? I don't know. Where do they have free kites? I want to go there. Not entirely free, but okay, fair enough. So you can buy second-hand wave kites. Look, that's really cool. Facebook communities, Seabreeze, or eBay. So this is my favorite thing. Now it's giving me recommendations on how to actually get cheap alternatives. Isn't that amazing? A couple bed sheets and a swing kit to your grandma, and voila, free kite surfing kite. Yeah, I guess you could do that if you don't care about surviving out there. It's a dangerous sport, man. But yeah, I guess you have a point. But there you go. So pros, cons, right? Significant savings, absolutely true. Great to consider, especially if you're a newcomer. Hey, this is the way to go. No warranty, some wear and tear is possible. This is a fantastic analysis. What's next? Open source kitesurfing communities. Kite forum DIY section. Frozen, this is for you. You can show this to your grandma, and with this forum, she can make you a free kite. Look at that. Some secondhand deals, special offers. Oops, what did I click there? Interesting. I didn't even know of this site. All right. What else? Cheaper wave kites. There's some alternatives. It found some. What about the old Duotone Neo 2021? Cabrina Drifter, F1 Bandit. Perfect. Rental or try programs. Like, these are all things, all the legitimate alternatives. Let me tell you, as a kite surfer, these are all good alternatives, and some of these might be non-obvious. And then you have the comparison table where you see it all in one. Now look, I'm blabbering around this, right? I'm explaining as I go. But in reality, what we did is we gave it, hey, I'm considering to buy this kite. Boom, here's analysis. Then what did we do? Then I hit the number 1 and it gave me this overview table. Isn't that useful? Now, look, if you do this for one product, fair enough. You could custom prompt this, no need to build this into a GPT. But maybe I want to send this to somebody, to a friend of mine. My bad, I didn't want to use free. I wanted to use 2. Maybe I wanted to send this to a friend of mine, and I did the research for him. So how about I just hit 2, hands off. Actually, this won't work, I just realized, because I need to enable a code interpreter. Let me quickly do that. If you go into the settings, this is not on by default. I forgot this. You need to turn on code interpreter. And if you have code interpreter, let's just do the same workflow and let's see how it works in practice, okay? Hands off. Send the prompt. I'm considering the purchase of this new wave riding kite. And feel free to count how long is this workflow gonna take, as opposed to how long would it take manually. So it does the work, okay, it pulls the info together, creates a summary, nice, show me some free alternatives to this, it's working, I can take a sip of water, life is beautiful. All right, there are the alternatives, nice. Ooh, a new alternative here. The comparison table. And now that it's done, all I'm gonna do is, almost done. I'm just gonna press 2 and hit enter. I can scratch my face. It's using the code interpreter and it's gonna compile all of this into a Word document that I can then download with one click. Okay, how simple is this versus having to round trip to your note-taking tool, having to find the right prompts? Let's be real, it's quite exhausting. Like if you have an extensive library, pulling together a custom workflow like this that you might be repeating multiple times is sort of annoying. Now, look, this Black Friday wizard obviously is just a demo example, but I'm telling you, other use cases like writing things up, like if you have standardized reports, this is incredible. If you want to repurpose social media content, everything where you repeat a specific prompt sequence, this is the way to set it up. This is the most user-friendly way to do it. And there you go. I could just download this file and we can have a look into it. This is the free or budget-friendly alternatives to my Kite document. And there you go. A one-page Word document ready to go. I could send this to any loved one. I could alter the prompt so that it saves PDFs. And there you go. That's how this works. So yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. This is possible and more. You can do various fancy things with the instructions, obviously. You can use the knowledge base to include various templates that you can then reference inside of these instructions. You can use conversation starters. You can use various tricks relating to all of this tooling that's enabled in here. And then you can set these things up and then you're really at the limit of what a GPT can do. Heck, you could even do actions where it links to your Notion database, and with the click of, with one of these keyboard shortcuts, you could just automatically save all the content to a Notion database, to an Excel sheet, you could automatically send an email. You could set it up for it to do that. I don't think you want to do that, but you could save it to the drafts of your Gmail account. You could trigger an automation workflow with 60 steps with the press of a button here. You just map it to one of the shortcuts. You set up an action where the shortcut references the name of the action, and Bob's your uncle, I suppose. That's a thing that I always wanted to say. So now I have. So all of that is possible. These are the basics of it. Now, where can you learn that? You guessed it. We teach that. Well, I teach that in the community concretely. We have these learning paths, and everything that I just outlined and more is in them. I mean, we've been developing over the course of over the past 2 years. There's a ChatGPT beginner course that gets you up and running with all of this, the tooling and the communication, the building block basics. And then we have building custom GPTs. There's like 8 or 9 hours of materials that cover all of this. You have previews of this in the public area, by the way. And then you have advanced LLM prompt engineering with some other tips that go even beyond what we just talked about here. If you want, you have previews of all of this in the public area of the community. And yeah, here on the learning paths, you can look at the curriculum. So one is we've been talking about the building custom GPTs one. But there you go. This is how you do it. This is what you can do inside of ChatGPT today. Obviously, I could copy this whole thing and I could just head on over to Claude. It's just going to pull up a random artifact here. No, Claude. You know what? I'm just going to use my shortcut here. There you go. And obviously, you could run this in here. Now, you're going to lack some of the tooling, but at this point, it has a lot. Could even use my custom tile that I set up over the past few days. And you could use it in here. You could use it in Gemini. You could use it in a local model, all of that. Now, all of the tricks that I talked about, all of the specific tooling is customized for ChatGPT. And there you go. It's writing some code to budget for me. So this is nice. So Claude is taking a different approach. It's creating a custom app for me. Look at that. This is this is pretty cool, actually. Look at that. For the kitesurf, you could spend 800 to 900. This is for the kiteboard. This is for the AI membership. Only thing I have to correct here is the AI membership, actually. So if you want to learn all this, right? I shouldn't forget to say this. If you want to learn all this, if you want access to all of these, including the prompt engineering course, no matter what level you are at, you can head on over to myaiadvantage.com/community. And then you can join our community down here. We have a special discount, a 40% discount just for Black Friday. You'll get a yearly membership, access to all of these materials, and we run 15 to 20 events a month, post around 10 guides and resources every single month, always keeping it fresh, always updating everything we do, bringing in external speakers. Just last week, we had the founder of a agentic AI development project and company called Pythagora coming in and sharing his views on the future of the agentic economy and all that. Anyway, all that and so much more, everything that's outlined on this page at this Black Friday price. And yeah, so now I made my sales pitch, I suppose, and now we can do further cool stuff with AI. But basically, this is something I really wanted to show you because I think this combo is very powerful, and you can offer this. And the thing is, the cool thing, my favorite part about all this is this stuff, all the skills that I showed you here, right? Like this building, using the builders, prompt engineering, using some of the tools in here. Sure, this might be relatively basic compared to what you can do. Like once you get into the actions and all the automations you can set up in tandem with this, that's the deep end of this pool. But nevertheless, we have people in the community who are selling these services. We have people in just in the YouTube community that are offering this to clients, and they're just building GPTs for specific workflows because not everybody knows how to. Not everybody is aware of 12 different prompts that you can use for social media repurposing, plus multi-shot prompting. Just that combination alone can do so much damage when it comes to social media repurposing. You can build that, sell that to somebody who does marketing. And so these are, and this is what I wanted to say. My favorite part is all of this, it doesn't just stack with the different skills that you learn, but it is also scalable. So if we get the next version of GPTs, if we get the next agentic framework, you can use all of this knowledge in there, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's answer let's answer some questions here if there's any. Aaron's saying he has 60 GPTs. I enjoy building them and look forward to the challenge to see if my vision can be in real life. Yeah, man. So the challenge is another cool thing that I wanted to have a look at here in a second. We can sort of have a preview, but essentially people are submitting various articles and stories on how AI changed their life. And there's some really inspirational ones in here already. We can go through and look at some of them, but look at this is a popular one coming with a video. Yeah, amazing stuff. So there's a lot here, but you could go by popular. But we're gonna have a whole panel of judges on Monday, and we're gonna be evaluating these, and we're gonna be picking our favorites. And then first prize gets $1,000, second prize $500. How AI made my life a little happier. Yeah, this is great. We can look at this in a second here. But there you go. There you go. This is how you build. So this is one of the things I wanted to cover today. How you use the GPT builder to come up with something like this real quick, and how to combine it with keyboard shortcuts and other tooling and other prompts you might have. So first we looked at prompts, and then we integrated them here. All right. This is on desktop. Let's switch it to this. Okay, so if you have any questions or want to explore anything specific, this is the time and place to ask it. I think next up, we can look at some of the submissions. We can look at, what else? We could look at prompt extension workflows with either Sam the Prompt Creator or Anthropic Console. I think that's really cool. I should log in here. Okay. Yeah, there's actually so many interesting stories. I don't know if we do this another time or today, but I have like a whole folder of like stories that people shared, how like Gen AI is affecting them and how the channel helped them. Maybe we can do that tomorrow on the ChatGPT anniversary. So tomorrow is going to be a stream with some guests where we'll be discussing what's next for ChatGPT, the product, and what we expect to come out in 2025 and how to prepare for it. Oh, and also, like, we can talk about the quiz, no? So this is, I showed this off in the latest video, but I wanna show it off again. So you might have seen this, but if not, we created a quiz that, dependent on your personal interests, recommends custom AI learning resources. So there's this one question. Yeah, it's this one. So it's just completely free. And basically, I can show you some, we could talk about the automations and what this involves, but it basically sorts you. It's like it sorts you into one of 8 categories, depending on your experience level and your interest. And then it recommends a sheet with custom tailored prompts, a custom resource, and one of our learning paths. That's kind of like the paid product recommendation in there, but 2 completely free resources depending on your interest. And it uses some very intricate automations in the background. Well, they're just very, maybe not that intricate, maybe more like there's a lot of nodes involved because everything, like every one of those flows like has split up into 8 different paths. So if you haven't tried this yet, I would highly recommend you go give this a shot and get yourself some free AI learning resources. Angela, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Writing ads manually slowly becoming a real pain. Man, you best believe. You best believe. Yeah, the coolest thing is, like, I know you have a lot of ads. You have like a collection of ads, I think, if I remember correctly, that you really like. So what you can do is you can just, the best thing you can do is just give it 5 examples of different ads that you liked in the end. Just say example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with colons and like insert the examples there. And then it's just going to use that as a template. You can do this with any Twitter account. You can like easily emulate their style. Also, one more thing that I want to kind of like rehash because I think it's so cool is I featured this in today's video. But what I wanted to show you, 1 second. No, I just got a message with like some nice reviews of the community. Very, very wholesome. But I wanted, okay, so what I wanted to show you and what I wanted to highlight one more time is how amazing this create and edit styles feature here is in Claude, and how you can use it for other LLMs too. So here's a cool little thing you can do. So for example, I always had this project set up with like different styles. So for example, this is one of my email writers, and I have custom instructions in here with various emails, right? And I show this in the news you can use, but here's the quick recap of it. And what you can do is you can use this brand new feature here, create and edit styles. You can create a custom style. And then all you need to do, all you need to do is paste, multiple examples that I already had ready to go in here. So I think this is this 3 or is this 5? Ideally, you want 5. I believe this one in particular might be just 3. Anyway, it's just 3 example emails that I wrote by hand. And you say create style, and it will go ahead. And I believe there's some agentic workflow here in the background. Agentic. There's just a multi-prompt sequence that runs through this, analyzes all of it, and creates one paragraph that summarizes your style. You can see all of this here. Options, edit style manually. So it creates this from it. Conversational, personal storytelling approach that blends personal experience, technical insights, and motivational guidance. Use a friendly, direct tone that feels like advice from a knowledgeable friend. Incorporate personal anecdotes, clear value propositions, and a consistent signature style. The user has included the following content examples. Emulate these examples when appropriate. And then it includes the examples. Isn't this a great summary of how I talk and write, I suppose? I don't know. I would say this is a really good summary. But this is a better summary than I could maybe do myself. And you can just save this, or you could just take this, yoink, and now you could go over to ChatGPT and you could include this as a building block in your writing. So, or you could send it as a first message. You could put it inside of a GPT and use it as a part of the instructions. And now, if I ask it to write me another email, so this is a bit annoying because it will like repeat it back to you. So maybe what you can do is like my personal style. You could do this. You can maybe say, write me an email to my boss about the broken coffee machine in our office. Not sure why I said it that way, but there we go. So you could just run any prompt. I don't know, this is one of my defaults. And then you could use this personal style that Anthropic generated with the free shot prompt at the bottom. So I guess there's only there's only 2 examples here. Yeah, do 5 if you can. And then it does that. And look at that. It uses storytelling, morning coffee, aka productivity fuel. It uses the tone. This works really well across all LLMs. And the best part is, if you're a Claude user like I am, you can easily toggle between these. Frozen, if you're writing ad copy, you could give it multiple examples of ads in here. You could just go ahead and say, add writing examples, paste from content, and you could be like, hey, example 1, example 2, and do this five times in total. You just do this. You paste your examples, and then this thing is going to analyze all of them for you, create a custom style for you. Excuse me. And then you can take that, and you can just save it in here. And then anytime you're writing, you just use your ad writing style in here. It's pretty epic. Pretty epic. Just going to remove this because I have it already set up. But yeah, this way you can really easily just, boom, your own style. Claude 3.6 Sonnets, people call it, is fantastic at writing. Still probably my go-to recommendation. ChatGPT got way better now, but I think I'm still a Claude boy for creative writing. And then you should use O1 Mini to edit it and to refine it and to improve it. That's the workflow. You use 3.5 Sonnet with a custom style, with custom prompting. Inside of the custom instructions, you can wait, where are these? Yeah. And actually, you can still use projects, right? So you could still go ahead and use the custom instructions of a project. You can use your favorite style in here and manage all the ad copy you write in one thread. And then you would take the results and go into O1 Mini and let it rewrite it and let it improve it and let it like, you can make it either more concise or like just better, works really well. Or you say improve this for, and then insert the target audience, and then it's gonna do that. And O1 Mini is just clutch at that. So those would be a little writing workflow that I would recommend right now. Anthropic advises to write prompts for Claude and XML tags, etc. What would be the best way to convert prompts from other LLMs to prompts for Claude? So probably the easiest way is using their own tool. So wait a second, I can just, I'll just log in here. Wait, I'll just stop my screen share. And we can just log in. So here's the thing, they recommend it, and it's also best practice for ChatGPT and other LLMs because it just learned on all of the internet, and a lot of that is formatted in Markdown, and a lot of it includes XML tags, and a lot of it includes, the brackets and the formatting that they recommend. So in general, it's a best practice, just like it's a best practice to actually, write stuff out correctly. But if you're like, write me an essay about penguins, it's still going to write you an essay about penguins, although I made a billion mistakes in there, and it's gonna get it right. So just because something is best practice doesn't mean it is martial law. Or it is law, I guess. Like, you can make mistakes, and you can just do it without XML tags. Now, is it best practice? Sure. Should you do it in prompts that you're going to be running hundreds of times? Yeah, I would recommend that. If you're just willy-nilly prompting away and doing cool stuff inside of the web and trying things and throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks, you can just go with the flow and don't worry about the XML tags. Now, if you're going to be improving something, sure, please do it. That's why we built Sam, the prompt creator, for example, here. You can say, improve my prompt, or you can, write me an essay about penguins. And then it's going to revise it, and it's going to use Markdown formatting and proper like optimal formatting for the LLM for you to do this. In this case, it doesn't even include examples, because writing an essay, it only, generally speaking, you don't want to follow a specific structure. But if I do something like write me a business plan for my idea, let's keep this general, like a business plan generator, it's going to flesh it out and probably zoom all of those, and probably it's going to include some examples and some and the proper formatting at the bottom. So this is one way. This is free, and it works exceptionally well. The second way is you can use their, wait, I have too many tabs here. Yeah, you can use their prompt improver, or you could just generate the prompt completely from scratch. This costs some money with the API though. Where are we? We're right here. Yeah, so there you go. There it includes the proper like formatting here in the bottom, with the brackets in it. So this would be one free way. You can use Sam, the prompt creator that we built to improve your prompts. This thing is, I just love to see that it's getting more and more usage. Like, yeah, barely promoting it, and it's just, people seem to love it. So there you go. There's your answer. Or you could just use this. Sorry, too many tabs at this point. We'll close a few. All right. Right here. All right. So to round things out, I will do two more things. One is I'm going to summarize all the stuff, all the most important things for the rest of the week. We have 2 more streams coming. And 2, and this is the reason you should stick around for another minute or two, is I'm going to show you the updated AI Advantage team video in the GTA style. So this is for you computer gaming connoisseurs out there. But basically the AI Advantage team has expanded, and there's no better way to show you than by creating a video purely with AI tools. We used Midjourney to generate custom images of the various members. We used I guess we use traditional editing software, but like most of it is all of it is AI powered. So we have a cool little video for you here to round things out. But before that, I just want to highlight one more time that we have the exclusive sale of the community yearly membership. If you know anybody who wanted to learn these skills, I've done my very best to put together a team of people that can help humans achieve this skill set, becoming Gen AI native, learning the basics of prompt engineering, learning GPT building. We have a brand new course coming out here in December on building chatbots with no-code tools. We have automation events. Next month, we have, I think, 4 or 5 different events on no-code automation that teach you things. You can go into a room with other individuals, other humans. You can ask your questions. You can watch all the recordings of everything we did throughout this year. We have about 15 live events a month, 10 new guides every single month. All of that, new guests coming in, get personalized help, and you can get a yearly subscription at the best price ever right now. So go check that out, myaiadvantage.com/community. And now we have a little team video, so you can learn about the people who do all these wonderful things inside of the community. By the way, maybe I can show you the community. It looks like this. There's 3 different areas, one for LLM, creative, no code. And then here's our event schedule. We have events coming up on, I'm holding one on Notebook LM on Tuesday. Then we have one on Tiny Troop, a new agentic framework by OpenAI. Then we have one on, every month we do one that helps newcomers get started with no-code automations. Philip runs that and always teaches new automations in there. Always a nice little environment, wonderful way to get started with more advanced workflows. Then we have one with Kosti on Replit Agent and building real-world apps. And office hours in between, where you can just hang out and have a coffee with me, so to say, digitally. And in a nice environment of around 15 to 20 people, we just hang out. All of that and more. But now, let me show you this little video. Let me show you this little thing that we created with the team. Shout out Lucas and Robert for putting this together over the past 2 weeks while creating all the YouTube videos and preparing the stream visuals and creating all of the covers for the community. A lot of stuff going on in here. Let me play this video to you. Okay. What's the best way? Okay, give me a second to figure this out. I have it here. And I don't want to add a camera. I want to add the video. Here we go. Play full screen with audio. Okay, let's have a look. AI Advantage team, GTA style, AI generated. Meet the team. Let's go.
Hello. If you want to be number 1, you've got to be odd. So get weirder, if that's even possible.
All right, so yeah, that is the AI Advantage team overview. It's pretty cool. I personally like it a lot. I mean, hey, these are the people that we work that I work with on a day-to-day basis. It's really cool, and it's like one of these fun things where, you know, how to put it? It's a customization that you would not create if you wouldn't have AI. Like creating all those images in a GTA type of style manually with just by painting it or by just like this is not a thing you would do if you wouldn't have AI tools, right? Like no doubt. But with this, you totally can. I mean, you know, let's scroll through it a little bit. Let's appreciate the tool usage here. So I'll just add this as an overlay without the sound, and we can kind of have a look at this in tandem. So we can do this. We can like kind of blow this up. But like all of this is Midjourney, by the way. Also, I'm gonna change this to be a square. Look at that, my stream editing skills. So those are like different just nicknames that we gave ourselves in the process, because why not? But look at that. This is the setup I wanted. Wonderful. So let's look at some of these. I mean, this stuff is pretty cool. And then like what you can do is you can just upload images of a person, and then you can use them as a reference in the generation. And you can use a specific prompt that I also shared before, where you just like this just looks epic, doesn't it? Like Hayes is our AI artist, and he does a lot of the covers, and he's just extremely talented. I shared a lot of his work in the weekly news you can use. Dom runs all the Midjourney events and everything AI art related. He teaches all the workflows. He's going to teach playground.com next week. I think that's one of the coolest and most like user-friendly tools out there. It's just epic, isn't it? Look at all those. Like a Kosti's one. This is great. Kosti, what do you make of this one? Kosti's mod in the chat right here. Shout out Kosti for exploring all these agentic workflows out there and bringing them to me, the team, and the community. Kosti, did you see the new one I shared with you? Did you see, what is the name? I forgot the name. Have you seen the model context protocol by Anthropic yet? This just came out. Pretty epic. Gerhard was one of those to use them as teaching slides. Well, Gerhard, we have a guide in the community how to create this exact thing. Like, do you want one of yourself? Could be pretty cool. Look at that. Robert on a bike. This is amazing, man. It's so cool. And you could do this. You know, if you're not sure what to do for Christmas, hey, you could probably create pictures like this of your family with a $10 Midjourney subscription. And then you could go to your local copy shop or whatever it might be in your country. In like in Austria, in pharmacies, you could print pictures really easily. You could frame them. Like this is for $20, you could create custom images of your entire family or all your friends and print them for like a few cents and then frame them in like a cheap Amazon frame. And you could give them custom images of themselves in the style of their favorite video game. Hey, just an idea. But that's pretty cool, no? Yeah, Raluca's new job title. Raluca, your new job title is Community Architect. That is a cool title. I don't know if I really identify with Overlord. I don't know. It just. I think this is like referencing the song that Matthias made, right? He made a song where it just says it's like a polka. It's like a Russian polka, and it just loops for 3 minutes, and it's like Igor is the AI Overlord, and it just loops for 3 minutes. It's kind of funny. You would have to see it. But yeah, it's personal and meaningful, memorable, and also super cheap, right? All you need is Midjourney. Heck, you don't even need Midjourney. You could actually do this with Flux, right? You could train custom models. It's a bit easier with Midjourney, but with Flux, the quality would resemble the person even more. Although this is really good, though. Yeah. Anthropic is making moves. Indeed, Aaron, yeah. Oh, Sarah and Alexander, thank you so much for the kind words. Alexander, Wills Alexander, I see. You're using your son's YouTube channel. Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful to have you. And also, we received your email. We're already looking at it. No worries, we'll figure it out as always. But your billing has been a bit messy. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Ariadne send it to me already. I'll have a look at it myself. Jesper asking a factual question here. Let me address this quickly. So Jesper is asking, hey, wait, let me just turn this off. I attempted to do the research automation from your video 4 weeks ago. The first prompt for perplexity consistently fails to fetch the content from LinkedIn and make something up instead. If running the prompt directly in Perplexity, it cannot access the profile from LinkedIn. Is it just me doing something wrong or anything changed since then? No. So the thing, it's a problem with LinkedIn. And it does work a lot of the times, but not every time. We did an entire... so you might really enjoy the stream on Wednesday, especially the part where I customized the automation, because we extended it so you could give it custom data. But the thing with LinkedIn is it often blocks scraping. Now, it's really powerful to to scrape LinkedIn, right? But it often blocks it. I would say it's sort of like a 60-70% chance of it working. But if you do it a lot in a day, so if you run the automation like 20-30 times, it will block you out. This is what happened to us with the stream. We did a bunch of practice before and it worked. And then we started the stream and it just gave us no access a few times in a row. Then a few minutes later, it worked again. But basically LinkedIn blocks you out some amount of the time. It won't work 100% of the time. We extended the automation to run a loop now. So if it doesn't give it access once, it will run 4 more times. And I believe we also have an update that I can share in an upcoming stream. I think either tomorrow or Monday we can share that. We have an update that handles that even better, but it's just a built-in LinkedIn property. You're not doing anything wrong. If you change it to scrape something else besides LinkedIn, it will always work. It's just a LinkedIn thing. But it is scrapable. It does work, but see it as a coin flip some of the times. And in the new version that I shared in the last stream, we run a loop over it so it gives it 3-4 attempts and not just one, increasing the probability of it working. So I hope that is helpful. I still think it's super powerful and worth it. As I pointed out there, you're saving 10-15 minutes of time with the click of a button. And if it throws no access within a few seconds, you can just run it again. Okay. Okay, Jesper, love to hear that it was useful anyway. That is good. Also, yeah. All right. Then I think that is that. Maybe just last thing I would point out is check out the... Oh, this works. I can just drag and drop onto here. This is amazing. Check out the stream tomorrow. I'm going to have a few guests on. We're going to be discussing the future of ChatGPT. What's coming up next year? We're going to be talking about OpenAI Operator. And we're going to be talking about what the product will look like in a year from now and what you can do to prepare. And then on Monday, we're going to be looking at the results of the challenge. One more time, if you haven't heard about the challenge, you can win $1,000 first prize, $500 second prize. Just share a story of how AI influenced your life for the better. We're going to have a panel of judges on Monday, including some team members and some other YouTubers. And we're going to be judging the results, giving our votes on what's amazing, what stories inspired us the most. At the very least, you can check all of that out in the free area of the AI Advantage community. There's dozens of stories of how it positively affected people's lives, so you can get inspired there. On Monday, we'll be evaluating that. That should be a lot of fun. And other than that, I would like to genuinely thank you for hanging out with me, for spending the Friday night with me here. It is wonderful to have you. I'm so grateful to be doing this. We have the best AI learning community on the internet. At least that is my opinion and the opinion of everybody else hanging out there and in this chat. So great to be doing this. So great to be learning about this. It's my pleasure to be entering the future of technology in a social environment rather than just isolated by myself. This is great. This has been great. I hope you learned something. Check out the upcoming streams. Check out the new news. You can use video and check out the new Claude feature. I really love that thing. Super useful. That's it for me. 2 hours. Been a good one. See you soon. And maybe to round things out, let's play the GTA 5 video of our team members one last time, and then let's end the stream. Thank you everybody for being here. See you tomorrow.
Hello! If you want to be number one, you've got to be odd. So get weirder, if that's even possible.